Welcome to grade 12 University Chemistry. My name is Michael Parsons and I am a chemistry and physics teacher at Paris District High School in Paris, Ontario. The idea of these videos is to pull you into what's key or central in each one of the activities. Now, what an activity is it's a section of a unit. So right now we are on Unit 1, we're on Activity 1. So this is the first section of Unit 1, and what I'm going to focus on here are drawing what are called alkanes and side groups. Now, we're in carbon chemistry right now, also called organic chemistry. Organic chemistry is, in my mind, the biggest area of chemistry. It has the most going on as far as it takes up everything around you, from paper, the clothes that you wear, the cologne you wear, alcohol. So there's so many things that are organic. So we're talking carbon-based. This shouldn't be confused with organic farming, which means in the absence of inorganic substances such as fertilizer. Anyhow, what I'm going to focus on in this first video are things called alkanes. So they're carbon chains with single bonds in them. And then we're going to look at some side groups. As we go through this unit, make sure that you are focusing, and what I'm about to say is extremely important, make sure you're focusing on the systematic naming system and not the common system. There will be no testing on the common system. If you see terms like normal, iso, meta, if you see nicknames for things, we're going to look at the strict chemical names for things. Let's just start doodling a little bit here and see what you can pick up. So I'm going to put 4 carbons together. So what I want you to do is I want you to have all of these roots out. We are on 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a bute. It has all single bonds in it, so it is a butane. Now, every carbon needs to have 4 bonds coming off of it. So if you look at this carbon here, it's only got 1 bond. That means it must be attached to 3 hydrogens. I will not draw the hydrogens when we're doing this. We'll just assume they're there. These are called hydrocarbons. Most hydrocarbons are fuels. So for example, this is butane, as in a butane lighter. Note that any carbon that's in the middle of a chain only has 2 hydrogens because that will satisfy the 4 bonds, where ones on the end have 3. So I will do this. From now on, instead of drawing hydrogens, I'll just draw a little tick. Okay, so this is C4H10. Just a little trick. When you have alkanes, you take the number of carbons, you double it, which would be 8, and add 2, and that will tell you how many hydrogens you have. So this is butane right here. If they say hexane, that's going to be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once again, 1 carbon, methane, the simplest of gases, ethane, propane, butane, pentane, hexane, heptane, octane, octane, 8, 9, 10. Okay, then I'm just going to draw my hydrogens like this. Now, I can take this up another level. When they measure the bonds and the bond angles, it does not look like this. So what you will see sometimes is you'll see drawings that look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Every time you're at the end of a chain, that's a carbon, and anytime you switch directions, that's a carbon. I don't think you're going to have to know this, but this could be important. You might see drawings that look like this. These two are exactly the same. I don't care how you draw it. Next thing. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start adding side chains in. So I'm going to do something and then I'm going to explain what's going on. I am going to draw 2-methyl pentane. Whenever you're drawing, a dash goes between a number and a name. They sometimes leave this out, but a dash goes between a number and a name. There, you blur words together in organic chemistry. There is no space there. So the first thing you do is you work backwards. So let's draw our pentane, and then the numbers signify positions. So on the second carbon, I'm going to draw a methyl. So what is a methyl? Meth means one carbon, and it's a side chain. It's going to have 3 hydrogens coming off of it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 or 3 of these just to try and get the hang of this. Let's put it here. So now what I've done is I've drawn it, and now what we're going to do is we're going to try and name it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is hex or hexane. The ANE means you have all single bonds, and it's on the 1, 2, 3, 4th carbon. So it would be 4-methylhexane. Now wait a minute, it's not 4-methylhexane because you always have to number from the end that's going to give you the lowest possible numbering. This is 3-methylhexane. Okay, so always start numbering from the end that gives you the lowest possible numbering. Just a couple more. Okay, so longest chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is heptane. And remember, this is open book, so you have everything in front of you. We have a methyl on the 2nd and on the 4th carbon. Now remember, these methyl, ethyl, and propyls are side chains, so they're not part of the main chain. So this would be 2, 4, because those are the positions. The 2 and the 4 are the positions of the carbon. It's on the 2nd, or of the methyl. It's on the 2nd and the 4th carbon. How many do we have? We have 2. It's dimethyl. Folks, be aware, this is a repetitive system. This tells you where the methyls are. This emphasizes that there's 2 of them. Commas go between numbers. Dashes go from numbers to names. Dashes go from numbers to name. Commas go between numbers. One more to do. Now, here's a trick you have to be aware of. You might start going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the longest chain. No, if you can put your pencil down somewhere and you can go in a continuous line without going backwards, so you can change directions, but we don't have to go backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's your longest chain. This would have been 2-ethylhexane, but our longest chain is here, so it's heptane, and it's on the 3rd carbon. It is 3-methylheptane. Hey, just a couple of points for success in here. This is what I think is important out of U1A1. Make sure that once you go through the content that you find some YouTube videos that you like. So there's all sorts of people out there who teach things, but make sure that you're looking specifically at what it is that you want. So in this case, you'd be looking up naming alkanes, or naming alkanes with methyls, ethyls, and propyls, or side groups. But there's more side groups we're going to get to, so this can be confusing. You've got to find the right videos that help you out. So once again, what I am trying to do here is I am trying to take out the most important points and emphasize them to you as we go through these videos. I would watch the video, so I'd watch the U1A1 video, the one I just made, then I would go into the content. So I had some context and some background for what I'm looking at.